Switzerland exports pharmaceuticals and watches throughout the world. Switzerland has gradually started trading more outside of the bloc than inside it since the financial crash of 2008, which left EU members' economies worse off than the other potential markets. Swiss newspaper Blick has reported, by the time Britain has left the bloc, less than half of Switzerland's exports will be traded into the EU, according to the paper. The country's Federal Customs Administration announced this week exports are at an all-time high. Swiss exporters sold 220.4 billion francs worth of goods in 2017, an increase of 4.7% on the previous year. The paper adds that exports to the EU increased by just 3.5%. Before the financial crash, around 63% of Swiss exports went to Brussels, while it was 10% less than that last year. Switzerland's exports to the bloc will drop even further once the UK has left in March 2019, according to Blick. Ingvar Abrahamsson of the Swiss Federal Institute of Economic Research at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology said the growing importance of the pharmaceutical and watch industries mean that more was exported to non-European countries. Swiss pharmaceutical firm Roche export more to the US than the youth pharmaceutical sector in Switzerland is said to have long taken over the mechanical engineering, electrical and metal industries. Switzerland exports fewer pharmaceutical products to Europe than other EU member countries, with firms such as Roche and Novartis finding the US to be a more important customer. Switzerland's watch industry is strongly geared towards Asia, with only 41% of exports going to the EU. The State Secretariat for Economic Affairs (SECO) has explained that EU countries have suffered more from the financial crisis than Switzerland's custom is out of it. Friday, January 26, 2018. Donald J. Trump addresses a plenary session during the 48th annual meeting of the World Economic Forum (WEF) in Davos, Switzerland, the 26th of January 2018. The strong appreciation of the Swiss franc against the euro ensured the price competitiveness of Swiss products in the eurozone was severely weakened. SECO spokesman Fabian Meinfisch said, due to these difficult circumstances in Europe, many Swiss companies have tried to diversify both qualitatively and geographically. Alexis Bilkorber, an economist at the Economic Research Institute BAC Basel Economics, said many emerging economies have not yet completed their catching-up process and will continue to grow faster than the established industrial nations. Switzerland Global Enterprise (SGE) supports Swiss export companies in opening up new markets to sell into. SGE CEO Daniel Kung said, "We explicitly support greater diversification, just so that our companies can position themselves early in promising markets." Kung does admit that the EU is still important for the exports industry, and added, for SMEs in particular, European markets are still mostly the top address. For companies with fewer resources, this represents the easiest step into the international business. Additional reporting by Monica Pellenberg.